website. There is much more going on than meets the eye. The adventure begins here.
Cool.
And that's how trades are done on CS Money. With Hellcase multi-cases, you're no longer restricted by random case opening mechanisms. Now, you are able to pick any of the cells containing skins and actually determine what you win. Use the promo code and dive right in.
There we go. Now, as you can see, guys, we're ready to jump into our matchup. This is, of course, our very first map of the best of 3 series. The name's Sir Danny. I'll be the one guiding you through this journey that will be Sprout versus LAN Dodgers. I mean, let's be real. Coming into this matchup, I honestly don't think LAN Dodgers have much of a chance. I mean, the past couple of months here for Sprout have been really good. I mean, this team has been able to perform to a much greater level and against much greater opposition than the likes of LAN Dodgers, who are, again, pretty much a mixture coming into this one, as they're still a relatively recent roster. So it's going to be interesting to see how it turns out in this matchup. Of course, this is our very first map being trained, the map pick of Sprout. Later on, we're going to be able to see the likes of, I'd like to say Inferno. I think it is Inferno, if I recall correctly. And the third map, if it will be necessary, will be Mirage. So right now, it kind of looks like the guys here from LAN Dodgers going to be putting a lot of emphasis here towards those brown holes. Wouldn't be too surprised to see as a good old-fashioned rope push here. Chimka might just be the first one to see a player here. That could be Dennis here in connector, but he has been smoked off, so yeah. Right now, Dennis can't do a thing, but Percy sure can. Oh, actually, Percy hasn't been able to climb up Pop Dog. He's right now in a very good position. Look at the movement here from Percy. He's not going to be giving away an easy kill here. He's just playing the mouse game. Or shall I say the cat and mouse. Right now, the mouse is able to fire back, but looks like the cat is that tad bit quicker. It's still not looking too good here for LAN Dodgers. I mean, they end up losing 3 of their players very early here. Wonder if Ramzik alongside Jimka can actually accomplish here anything. Their best bet, like they're doing right now, I mean, just slow things down to a crawl. Maybe you might just get lucky on the back of one of these players just walking to their crosshairs, which could be the case in NATO Safix. He's slowly but surely shifting towards the positioning of which, well, Ramzik is stationed at. So at the very least, NATO Safix should be the linchpin to actually end this round. It does look like, well, there we go. There's some first contact here towards the outer area, but finally Favin will be able to take down Jimka, and it does appear like NATO Safix is now, oh, not going to be necessary. NATO services won't be too necessary, as Speedy will get the final kill. It is, of course, a 1-0 lead here for Sprout with the acquisition of the pistol round. This upcoming round should be a great ease for them. I don't think LAN Dodgers is going to be making the investment. In fact, yeah, they're going to play this one safe. They're going to try to go for the full-on eco in the very third round of this matchup. Then we're going to be able to see an investment here from LAN Dodgers, which should include the AKs and whatnot. Dennis gets the accidental knife there in NATO Safix. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Really, there need to be nothing here on teammates there, but even so, Even if NATO Sapphics does get tagged by his own teammate's knife, I mean, he does end up surviving. He had only 6 points of health, and in fact, there's the second kill there for NATO. It's still looking like a very good scenario for Sprout to end up winning. I got no clue what LAN Dodgers would have to pull out of the hat to actually secure themselves around here. They got what? That one Glock in the hands of Dursky. I can't really say that his position is too awful. In fact, you might just be able to find a frag here if, say, a CT just walks past him and he can't see the guy. But in all fairness, this round will be going in favor of Sprout. That's real. There we go. There's the first kill. Landing in here, and there goes the third. A pretty clean round here for Sprout, as they actually don't end up losing a single player from their side. So it's going to be a pretty good boost for the economy, as we'll be able to see that Sprout. Yeah, it does look like they're just going to keep the weapons from the round beforehand. They with the MP9, Favin with the FAMAS. I have been able to notice that a lot more teams nowadays just tend to stick with the very first, well, the weapons that they bought up in the second round. Like there's SMGs and FAMASs and whatnot. It is a good idea though. If you end up losing with, you know, the FAMASs or the MP9s, you probably have been able to rack up some money before, so even though you end up losing a round, like if Sprout ends up losing this third round, you should still have enough money to purchase the fourth. Oh, Jillian NATO Sapphics go. He's taking quite the gamble. But so far it has worked out. He has got T-Con control. It doesn't look like there's going to be a single player here from the LAN Dodgers side actually looking towards him. In fact, there's some noise being made. I think NATO Sapphics will begin to realize that the player could be close by him. And oh no, NATO isn't able to land a shot. That's a bit of a shame. As Space is able to crouch down and avoid the angle. Still kind of looks like LAN Dodgers will put a lot of emphasis on this palm side push. His first kill for Arch, and there goes the second one. As right now, LAN Dodgers got all what it takes to actually enter the bomb site. There's the third one for Arch. This is looking like a very solid round right now for the T player. It does appear like LAN Dodgers are now gonna be able to plant the bomb. That's definitely not the issue. It's just that Sprout, I mean, Percy, well, I'd personally say you should consider saving the AK-47 he has. As in all fairness, his teammates don't really have the most amount of money. If he ends up saving the AK-47, he could actually use it in the upcoming round. Or he could actually be his own buddy, Speedy, using it. Speedy's only got $1,600, which obviously isn't a lot in terms of Counter-Strike money. One thing we can take a look though. Let's see, that's are the odds up for this matchup? Let's take a look. Yes, they are. Okay. Very first map here. Guess it's understandable. I mean, especially because we do realize that Sprout are definitely the favorites coming into this one. This being their own map pick. Arch though, yeah, definitely did some great work here for the LAN Dodgers side. The fact he was pretty much single-handedly able to open up the A-bomb site led to a victory for LAN Dodgers. Because pretty early on in that series, it did look possible that Sprout should have been able to come out on top, but apparently not. There seems to be some damage exchange here early on. As we can see, LAN Dodgers, they're not finding a single kill just yet. It's in fact the guys from Sprout finding every single aim fight. Even though Dursky and Space are still very much alive in this one. Yeah, I don't see the thing. They're going to be able to accomplish too much here. The Ukrainian and, well, Russian. It seems to be very plausible right now for Sprout to secure themselves the third round in the first map. As LAN Dodgers players are kind of looking pretty lost in this scenario. I mean, it is a difficult one, because their buddies end up dying so quickly. Now a lot of pressure is definitely on these two remaining players to try and get something done. And well, there's one kill. Space is going to be able to take down Percy, who is the Pop Dog defender. Of course, Dursky and Space still want to try to give it their best shot. They might just be able to find an opening here on the B site, thus being able to plant the bomb. if that would be the case, it's not too bad. Sad is missing quite the crucial shot, but there comes the follow-up. And it appears that Dursky, yeah, even he's gonna fold down from the train there. Third round here for Sprout, as LAN Dodgers have actually not a lot of money. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see if the CIS squad ends up trying to go for a full-on eco. That would probably make the most amount of sense. But even though that is quite the sensible action, I'm not really sure what they've decided to go for. Ah, alright, I can hear the Glocks in the distance. Yeah, it is. Gonna be a full-on eco. So I guess we shouldn't be expecting too much here out of the LAN Dodgers side, but there's Speedy finding the first kill on Dursky. It is gonna make things a bit more difficult here for LAN Dodgers, as I'm almost certain if they're able to kill Speedy early on there, I think they just continue on pushing down B. It does make a lot of sense. If you're able to kill the one defender, there's a high probability that either A, no one's gonna be there, or B, that there's probably just one more guy there. So you should be able to cross to the bomb site, get the bomb down, and in itself, that's a pretty good round. A pretty good round indeed. Still holding up here in brown holes, LAN Dodgers. Trying to accomplish something. Chumka tries to give it his best shot, trying to jump down and maybe surprise Percy, but he's ready and waiting. Looks like Rams is going to give it a shot. But, I mean, he is, yeah, 20 points of health. Very hard to accomplish anything from that point onward. And that is another round here for Sprout in the pocket. So they, of course, now going to be quite satisfied with this new addition of another round. I did take a very quick look at HLTV, and apparently LAN Dodgers, because they're still a relatively new unit, I mean, they don't have a lot of wins, so to speak, on some of the maps. In fact, I think they don't have even any wins on any of the 3 maps of Counter-Strike, like Nuke, Cache. I think there was another one, maybe Overpass, I'd like to say. Yeah, definitely not a lot. But if you do end up looking at Sprout, their win ratio is much better in some of the maps, and of course they faced much greater opposition. Right now, though, Safix, firing off the sniper rifle through your T-Con. They should still be quite careful about taking some of these aim fights if you're Sprout. You don't want to be giving away too much here, and this early, so to speak, in the matchup. Oof, the nade, that's quite the powerful nade. This does make a very big thump sound. Yep. Safix definitely sees the player there. And he sees the feet and sees the arm as well. Ooh. That's quite the angle. Yeah, it does appear like the rest of the LAN Dodgers side still gonna try to find some openings here. It's obviously not looking that great, but there's Dursky with one, and in fact, there's the other guys also stepping up, and suddenly we're down to a 1-on-3 scenario in which LAN Dodgers have got themselves a great opportunity to get one more round of the board. That seems to be very plausible. Speedy, though, on the B side, doesn't really want to try to contest this one. It is going to be a very difficult clutch here for Speedy, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see if he ends up saving, but he is moving towards connectors, so he's definitely fancying the odds here. That could be a fool's game, though, and a false sense of accomplishment. But I think, yeah, Speedy can't find a kill quick enough. He has to back away from this one. There's really no need to be contesting his bomb site, and, well, there's Arch finding the remaining kill. So it apparently is now 2 rounds here for LAN Dodgers, and they got themselves another pretty good opportunity to get themselves one more, but... Oh, actually, my bad. It does look like Sprout will still make the investment. You have the 8 OPs coming out here. 2 of them, in fact. And I think Favens... Yeah, he was also got a game 4. So overall, the investment is looking pretty impressive from Sprout. Maybe putting a bit more emphasis on that double op setup, but it is going to be quite the expensive... Well, setup here for the CTs if they don't end up winning the fights, but Dennis proves me wrong. He's got the very first one. So, Percy is also going to try to give it a shot. Right now, this is looking like a very solid round for Sprout, as they're winning all the kills necessary. And, well, that's apparently a quick round. It was only, what, 20-30 seconds, and yet every single player from LAN Dodgers is gone. And it seems to be very likely that this 8th round could be, yet again, going in favor here for Sprout. As you can see, guys, the money situation isn't that great here for LAN Dodgers. There's Parsley finding some kills. There you go. Pretty nice. Well done by him. A quick Molotov down Pop Dog. Percy maybe anticipating his fight. A couple more players coming his way, but that's really not the case, as LAN Dodgers still taking their sweet time. The Zeus, though, could actually find something, but he gets blinded. Doesn't land the shot, but there's Dursky with a kill on Percy. So that is now an AK-47 retrieved here for LAN Dodgers, which I'd say they can be quite happy about this investment that they have been able to pick up. Had AK in hand and Space having some armor, they could still definitely try to give it a shot in finding some of these openings. Not sure if it's going to be the A site, though, but the way the players are moving right now, it seems to be likely that they are heading towards Ivy. Slowly but surely, they are creeping forward. And I do believe there's one of the guys here. Yes, that is Favin's station here towards the tunnel. And once he sees or hears any footsteps, yes, he's going to be deploying that smoke grenade. Pretty good grenade usage from him, but he must be careful as the players are peeking for the smoke, and Favin gets all three. Sprays down through. Hopes to see maybe a couple more guys, and he sure does. It is going to be around here for Sprouts, as there's a very difficult position for him to be in. And I do hope we get to see the replay there of Favin got those kills there, because I'm almost certain he's only able to see the first guy, but because he anticipates maybe more guys to be right behind the smoke, he continues on spraying forward, and he gets both of them. We can see it here. Favin, he's able to peek on through, and oh yeah, he's actually able to see the second guy as well, but also anticipates for the third one to be there, and is able to get all three. Not too bad here for Sprouts. So far, it's looking like a pretty good map for them, but looks like LAN Dodgers is going to be changing up the pace just a little bit. It is a fast push in here to the bomb site. They've been able to find 2 kills already, which in itself is quite the accomplishment. Dennis, though, could get caught off rotating, and that is pretty much the case. And Sprout, though, still finding some serious, troubles in this round. Haven't been able to do anything so far. Not even being able to stop the push quick enough means that LAN Dodgers are not only able to overwhelm the A bomb site, they're actually going to now try to hunt down the last remaining player. There's NATO. He definitely has got the op out in his hands, but he's getting shot from 2 angles at the same time, making things very difficult for him. And yeah, with that victory right now, that of course leaves quite a bit of a dent here in the economy here of Sprout. But I do presume Sprout will be making, an investment, as you guys can see. The 2 ops coming into play again, and Percy only with the D, oddly enough. One thing I do want to note is I do wonder where the sniper rifles are stationed at, because more often than not, that on the CT side of training, you are going to be seeing one of the sniper rifle players stationed on the B side, the other guy maybe close by Ivy, but here, I'm not really sure where NATO Savix is usually playing. I do believe he's down here towards Ivy now, or in fact, is he right behind the bomb side? Pretty hard to tell, but I can see, though, there's still some smokes blocking out the vision here for LAN Dodgers. Jimka, though, he is just ready and waiting for such opportunity to arise. And this right now still gives a chance here for Sprout. There's Denny's with the kill on Jimka. So there's still Ramzik. Sniper rifle at his zone. Dursky with a AK. Where is Dursky? Dursky is... not really sure what Dursky's going to try to do. Maybe he's anticipating for one of the guys here from Sprout to maybe push down Ivy and towards T-spawn, but that doesn't seem to be the case right now. In fact, Dursky knows that that's not really happening, so he has to be the one making moves. And he's making some. Right down here towards Ivy. Dennis, not the best position to be in, but he does spot out the bomb carrier. There's now the molly. But I'm intrigued to see what Ramsey can find here. For sure, LAN Dodgers are not finding too much success, but there's Ramsey with the kill. Dursky now is going to have a bit more confidence to push forward. The biggest problem is he has the bomb. He ends up dying, and that means the bomb is dropped, which Ramsey has to recover it. How do you do that in this case? It's gonna be very hard. Ramzik, very low in HP. Oh, okay. That was very quick there from Speedy. As he ends up scoping in. Doesn't see the player. Then I think goes in for... Was that actually an AUG quick scope? I guess we could call it. That was very fast. Never seen an AUG quick scope. Well, I suppose the good thing for LAN Dodgers is that they're yet again able to make the investment. Does look like this time around they're gonna be able to expand a bit more utility here over the A bomb site. Will they actually make the push here? It seems to be very plausible that they're just gonna be trying to do this little fake here. That's the problem. I mean, it is very hard to be selling a fake if you don't end up pushing down. Percy though, he's ready and waiting. He's got the Galil out, and maybe even that scenario, the Max 7 could have been a bit more effective. Here though, LAN Dodgers, they're just going to continue on pushing down on the side. He got themselves a good chance here. The players here grouping up here, but Favin is able to stop two of them. And Jimka alongside Ramzik, yeah, not looking too good for them. Maybe Ramzik can do something here. He's going to be given these aim duels. He might as well take them. There's two of them going in favor of Ramzik, and there's Nano to end it all. The 8th round now being picked up by the European mixture. As LAN Dodgers, yeah, as you can see, folks, their money's in a pretty horrible state, so it has to be one of them good old-fashioned ecos. Oh, looks like Dennis might have quite the field day, as he's going to be able to see a lot of players coming his way. They're all blinded by a single flash. And even though he does end up getting some damage dealt, I mean, he himself doesn't have a lot of HP. The NATO, ooh, that's a kicker. Does quite some decent amount of damage on some of the LAN Dodger folks. It's obviously not looking too great for them. NATO firing off, but it's very hard to be finding kills from the smoke, especially with an AWP. Oh, okay. Talk about finding kills through the smoke. NATO. Oh, it's actually personal. Oh, they've made it. They made a tour of the train, as they've been able to make their way all the way through CT spawn to T spawn, and well, they can see some of these guys remaining here down Ivy. That will be a cleanup here for Sprout. Things are looking pretty up here for Sprout, but I suppose we weren't really expecting to see this matchup go any other way, at least for now. This being the map pick of Sprout, I mean, they're obviously the more superior opponent, especially when you take comparison to who LAN Dodgers are and what they end up consisting of. So it's definitely not that foolish to be anticipating for a Sprout victory here. Percy, though, not going to find too much success. In fact, any. There's the first kill going here for LAN Dodgers, but Favit, if you do wish so, you could have definitely continued on pushing down towards T-spawn, but it does appear, though, LAN Dodgers not going to plant the bomb just yet. Maybe they're still trying to put some of their players in more optimal positions before taking the bomb plant, because they obviously know there has to be some individuals down Ivy, maybe an old train. And because there isn't a single guy down Pop Dog, they're also maybe hoping for one of these CGs to pick out of that part of the map. But for now, it is a pretty big shame here for LAN Dodgers that they don't have a lot of map control. In the sense that if they do end up planting the bomb, you need all your players covering as many angles as possible. I do think one of the guys is in heaven, right? Dursky, is it? I think it's Dursky. So he's in a pretty good position. Oh, you have Space looking towards Pop Dog. This definitely isn't looking as bad as I might have thought of. They can definitely now consider planting the bomb here, yet there's no cross on the bomb side. There's still a pretty good angle for Dennis to spot out any people crossing, and they do have a smoker in the hands of Arch, so they could very easily just isolate the player. And yet Dennis given quite a lot of freedom in this round. Looks like it's now going to be the retake here for Sprout. So the players here for the CTs are in pretty prime positions. I do believe they're going to have Speedy now going down Pop Duck, so he's going to be in a very powerful spot. Dursky, though, Still got to clear him out of the green train because he can be quite the nuisance. It does seem to be. Speedy, is it? Yeah, Speedy's taking his sweet time there. He does able to spot out the bomb. There's Archie now finally coming in. This round seems to be very plausible for LAN Dodgers to win, as it's Lonesome Speedy. And even though he does have the kid, it's such a difficult round to win. As once you have a player in the heaven position as a terrorist, it is very hard to be winning that round. If you're a CT. Especially, I mean, the way Space played that one to perfection. I mean, he holds it on for as long as possible. Then, once the time is right, and the clock has taken quite thoroughly long, you have a great opportunity to make it happen. Well, to win the clutch, that is. Does look like LAN Dodgers aren't going to be going for their usual ways of playing CS, the sort of fast style of play. Which, in all fairness, I mean, it has been working out for them. For it seems to be the past couple of rounds, they have been able to get rid of Percy, who's been one of the first casualties here on the A-bomb side for a lot of these times. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see if LAN Dodgers do end up going for a faster play than usual. But for now, it will be still Percy finding the initial kill down Pop Dog. Oh, Arch, this is quite risky, Arch! Oh, that's a very risky play. I mean, you could be good for one kill, which isn't that bad, especially if there's only one defender. But the problem is, there's two of them. And the fact that he wasn't able to hit neither of them is, I mean, it is a bit of a shame. This round, though, is looking very good for Sprout right now. It is looking like a pretty horrible force buy, but so far they're finding all the kills necessary. There's Jimka. Ah, that's actually pretty interesting from Jimka, as you guys saw, he had the smoke grenade in his hands, but even though he ended up pulling the pin, he didn't throw it down Pop Dog. He was just trying to bait out his opponents to maybe look away once they hear the pin being pulled. But, I mean, that was all but a ruse. And it still didn't really help him out to win the round. Which, obviously, kind of sucks. So right now is the very last opportunity for LAN Dodgers to actually get one more round on the terrorist side. If they do end up getting the 5th round, then I'll say that's something of a decent half for them. I mean, especially knowing that this is the map pick of Sprout, and the fact that LAN Dodgers don't end up playing a lot of Train. As I'm taking a look at their track record, I guess they shouldn't be too mad or too surprised the way this turned out. And this round, though, ooh, that's a bit problematic here for Sprout. They end up losing those 2 players down Ivy, which means that LAN Dodgers have themselves a very good chance here. And not only that, they also have weapons and Jimka on the B-bomb site. Not sure how Jimka was able to cross, as Speedy apparently does seem to have a good grasp that there could be a player here. But at the same time, not towards the oil tanker, as that is where Jimka's stationed at. Percy, though, did he actually? Oh, he didn't see him. Now he will. And missing some of those one-taps there. Jimka, though, if his main role here is to try to get some sort of bait going, he's done his job. They know the positioning here of Jimka, and oh, this is just a game of timings, isn't it? It does look like LAN Dodgers will be trying to make a push here on the A-bomb side, not really succeeding, as even some of the Sprout players are so confused how this round is turning out. It does seem to be Space. He's definitely able to spot up Percy, as Percy right now is a very difficult spot to be in. Not sure if he can actually even come out of the connector. He could use his buddy Speedy to make the play. As right now, I mean, Space, he sees the angle, he sees the positioning of the player, he gets the kill. And Speed, I think he more or less realized where one of the T's are, but yeah, no idea about Dursky. So it will be the 5th round here for LAN Dodgers. I guess it's not too bad, like I said, for the LAN Dodgers side, especially because they haven't played too much of this map. Train just doesn't seem the map to be picking often or winning often. If I recall correctly, that's it got a 17% win ratio on Train, so it's definitely not that great. Especially if you take a look at the caliber of opponents the LAN Dodgers have been facing, and that's primarily just CIS squads. I think they played against XCOM and they ended up losing 2-0. So obviously the caliber of opponents that LAN Dodgers end up facing aren't as great as, well, the person Sprout get to face. Seems to be quite a decent amount of utility being purchased here for Sprout. The 2 smoke grenades, the flashbangs as well. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see if it will come down to an execute on one of the sites. It is an interesting purchase though, because nowadays in Counter-Strike on the T side, you're going to be able to see some of the T's just purchasing HE grenades more often than say the Molotovs. It has been pretty standard to be buying the Molotov on the very first pistol round here on train, especially if you end up hitting the inner bomb site. All you have to do is just have one guy with the Molotov who's an upper. Once the timing is right and he hears the defuse come in, he just throws down the Molotov, and more often than not, that is a victory for the terrorist side. But it has been becoming very more common for the CTs to be purchasing not only the defuse kit, but a smoke grenade alongside it, thus making the Molotov, well, pointless, really. But in return, the T's have decided to be buying HE grenades in a round like this. So I was maybe hoping to see Sprout, at least one of the guys, to pick up an HE. But they seem to be prioritizing the utility, the smoke grenade, the flashes. There's one of them being thrown down here, and a lot more to come here. I don't think Arch, yeah, he definitely sees the players, but he can't line up a single kill right now. There's Arch taking down Percy, and I think that's the bomb being dropped, so it has to be recovered now, which NATO is definitely in a position to do so. He will be able to plant the bomb, but there's still some questionable positions here for the LAN DODGERS players. Speedy, though, is able to come up huge for one, but there's still Lonesome Ramzik now left in the 1-on-2. He does have the USP. Probably the best pistol you can ask for in this scenario, as he is yeah, trying to win these fights in long-range engagements, and that's not really gonna work out. NATO Safix is able to get the last kill, and of course, that is the pistol round going in favor of Sprout. A pretty neat pistol round, I'm not gonna lie, but one thing that bothers me, I'd say, where on earth did the second smoke grenade land? I guess they would maybe throwing it down to maybe fake out the opponents on the A side. That would make sense, but I mean, we only saw one smoke on the B side. That was the connector smoke. So it is very intriguing to know where that second smoke grenade ended up landing. Or maybe it ended up missing. Like, I mean, that's added such a huge shame if that was the case. But the terrorist side did their part. Here, though, this should be quite an easy cleanup here for Sprout. I mean, they got the SMGs out. That's going to make things very easy in terms of movement speed, but even though they're killing some of these guys, they are kind of stacking the A-bomb save, but Sprout still being very cautious in their approach. We can see they're still winning some of the aim duels and spotting out the feet of Arch, and there's Faven, who should be able to kill the remaining connector player. Oh, finally Ramsey will be able to pounce. But this round seems to be pretty much over at this point. Not really anything Jim could do to stop the bomb, as some of these guys, they got the Kevlar, they got weaponry as well. And there you go, that's the round for Sprout. The 12th round being picked up, and only 4 more remaining to see them secure the W here on map number 1. Which, like I said, is going to be very plausible, because LAN DODGERS don't really have the best track record on train. And the biggest problem is that if they end up losing this round, that is where things do get tricky for LAN DODGERS. If they end up winning it, sure, then they definitely still have a chance here in the very first map of our best of 3 series, but end up losing it, and man, it's definitely not a very good fate for the LAN DODGERS side. This investment, though, I mean, it's not looking too pretty for LAN DODGERS. It is a force buy from their side, but I'm quite surprised to see that some of the LAN DODGERS players are prioritizing the Kevlar helmet when they are in very much a deep lack of utility. We're seeing Sprout actually make this execute possible, but where are their own smoke grenades and Molotovs? There's actually not a single one of them being deployed so far. Finally, I can hear some Molotovs being extinguished and whatnot. And now they're going to be able to plant the bomb anytime soon, but there's actually no one on the bomb site itself. So I'm not sure what's going on here for Sprout. It is looking pretty good for LAN DODGERS, though. But once the smoke ends up fading, NATO Safix can actually do some serious damage here. It's Jim actually finding the kill on NATO. This round is now complete and utter flop, as LAN DODGERS will be able to secure the 6th, but that was... Man, that was a very confusing round for Sprout. I'm not really sure how it turned out, because, again, we see the Sprout guys, they got a bunch of utility, they can enter the B bomb site. They don't really use it while it's entering the site. I think the only smoke grenade that was deployed was the connector smoke. But surely you can still throw down a smoke grenade while it's entering the site itself, you know. There's a pretty huge gap for the CTs to see the T's cross, so I'm not really sure why they didn't opt to deploy it and allow for the bomb planter to plant the bomb. It's some weird stuff, I mean. course, even by making these, I guess we could call little mistakes, they can be quite detrimental. Truly. This seems to be quite a slow round here for LAN Dodgers. Right now we're going to be able to see the remaining Sprout players actually make this push, and hold on just a sec, somehow Favin is able to find 2 kills with the P250. So it's now looking like a very doable round for Sprout to actually win. There's Person with a kill, and this is just looking horrible for LAN Dodgers. They still got themselves a chance, don't get me wrong, but it's obviously not looking too great. There's Favin with the 3rd kill, and something tells me that Sprout, they actually secured the round. I'm not sure how it happened. There was definitely some great shooting there from Favin with the P250. That was a heartbreaking round to lose if you're LAN Dodgers. I mean, if you want to make the comeback possible, you've got to be winning rounds like that, where you've got the superior weaponry, you've got the utility to stop any of these pushes. And yet the pistols, even in some of these long-range engagements, were able to overwhelm the rifles. That's quite a shame. Here though, LAN Dodgers do decide to go for the force buy, as they honestly don't really have a lot of rounds to work with here on the city side, so I can't really say I blame them. Try to give it a shot. Jimka though? Oh, that's actually very smart. I'm not really sure if the Sprout players realize that there is a player trying to make the flank happen. But otherwise, that is a very good way to deter those players. Dennis with 1 tap. And there's finally Jimka coming in. But he's a bit too late to the party, as all his buddies are kind of dead. And even he is in a very difficult predicament. He is able to recover a rifle, which isn't too bad. But in all fairness, how does he end up winning this round? The major legend, as we could say. He does have the Boston Major badge, so we can count him as a major legend. I said Jimka is still going to try to give it a shot. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but not really. Let's be real. How do you end up winning this clutch without having a defuse kit and having no idea about the positioning of your opponents? So it looks like at the very least, LAN Dodgers, or to be exact, Jimka, will be able to save that M4 of his. So I'm almost certain that coming into this 21st round, we should be able to see an investment here for the LAN Dodgers side. As again, you can see that their economy is in shambles. They don't really have too much to work with here. So it would make a lot of sense to try and go for the purchase. You are seeing a pause being taken, oddly enough. So looks like LAN Dodgers are definitely... Oh, it is a technical pause. Okay, my bad. I kind of thought that if LAN Dodgers do decide to end up taking the pause, that maybe they got themselves some sort of serious plan to make the comeback possible, but it definitely doesn't seem to be too likely. They're still going to give it their best shot. Welcome, everyone. The 21st round is upon us. See how this one turns out for both Sprout and LAN Dodgers. It does look like some of the LAN Dodgers guys have got, well, arguably a bit of a better investment than previously. I guess you could say Jimka's M4 is definitely making things look a bit crisper, but obviously not that great. CZ's out. 2 UMPs. They also got the rifle in the hands of Jimka. And what about now? We can see the utility being thrown out here by Sprout. LAN Dodgers not going to be able to find a chance here. It's looking very good right now for Sprout. As they're entering the bomb site, and I think those Molotovs, in fact, are being thrown down all the way from T-spawn. So, of course, Sprout using the new update to their knowledge the best they can to get themselves the edge. Even though I don't think that's going to be too necessary in this round. Maybe I could be proven wrong. Jimka is able to land a kill, and now it's all up to Arch, who does recover the AK-47 for his troubles. There's the first kill for Arch, but still has to take down Percy, and that's where things get tricky. The 15th round here for Sprout, and LAN Dodgers. For them, this is their very last opportunity to actually try and end up winning the first map. And, well, the way the things are looking right now, they're looking pretty dire here on map number 1. Our second map, folks, will be Dust 2. The map pick of LAN Dodgers, so they can actually recover a couple more rounds in here, maybe a bit more in general. As over here, it is looking pretty dire for the CIS team. Speedy. Molotov in hand to... Wait, where did that Molotov land? I think just in brown holes, oddly enough. Looks like the rest of the guys will just continue on moving forward. There's actually Junka. He'll help out the crossfire, but it's looking, yeah, pretty bad here for LAN Dodgers. Maybe Ramsey could actually get something done. He's making his way from Ram, so he hasn't been spotted out by no one. So he's definitely in a position to get a kill, but not the bomb plant, though. And he's planted the bomb on the other side of the plant, and Ramsey at least gets that kill, but, I mean, this is such a difficult position he's in right now, and as his teammate is dead, it's all up to Ramsey to try to keep the hopes alive for LAN Dodgers, but... Oh, apparently that will be the nade kill there for Sprout. And of course, guys, don't go anywhere, as we'll be right back with our third map. Oh, pardon me, the second map